Let's talk briefly about what happens in a small group. In a small group, we all read the book. We then come in to the group with parts that were meaningful to us. So in one of my small groups, we'll share pieces of the book that were meaningful to us. We listen to others as they share what they thought was meaningful. Then together as a group, we decide how will we go about applying the book and bringing the book into our life. And that's a little bit what we're going to do. This is a virtual group. We're not all sitting in the same room together. Literally, there are probably hundreds of thousands of people watching this with you. Well, maybe hundreds of people watching it. Maybe something less than 100. Okay. There's 6 people watching this with you, let's be honest. And what we're going to do is I'm going to tell you my ideas. You're going to listen to them, compare them with your ideas. If you have a question, you can email me at roger@houstongathering.org. So you can ask me a question. I can reply to you via email or reply to you even by a phone call. And we can thus create our own small group of the hundreds of thousands of people, as you remember, that are watching this. We all do better when we're not alone. So when I'm reading a book in a small group, I get more out of it than if I was reading it by myself. That is, in fact, the genius of the church. We all can have faith in our Creator and stay at home our whole life, and we miss so much of the Christian life because we're isolated, and we weren't created to be isolated. So we're going to use that concept, the concept of the church, to come together and study a book, which is a tremendous group. We'll support each other through that. So let's get started. I have 2 main thoughts that I took from this book. It's tough to boil it down to just 2 ideas, but here are mine. Number 1, there is something unique about our country. Something that if we lose it, we lose our country. That gets my attention. So it puts me ready to understand this book. The second thought is our country was formed by many miracles of God. We must remember these roots established by our Creator. And as you read, you'll see what I mean. As we get toward the end of this book, some of these mysteries, miracles will come out of how our country was formed, and it is truly amazing. I'll look at page 1 to start with, the introduction called The Promise, in which Alexis de Tocqueville, I looked it up on the internet and that's the way you pronounce it, Tocqueville, he said this: "Nothing is more wonderful than the art of being free, but nothing is harder to learn than how to use our freedom." We're founded in the phrase, "we the people." We have to say, what does that mean, we the people? Well, page 3 says, we the people have a great duty to fulfill. We the people have unique ways to remember our freedoms. We the people have a great ultimate leader. And we form a great partnership with each other in order to keep this republic. The phrase, "if you can keep it," allegedly comes from a statement by a Dr. James McHenry, who wrote when Ben Franklin left the first Constitutional Convention. He was approached by a woman called Mrs. Powell, and she walked up to Franklin and said, "What have we got, Ben? A monarchy or a republic?" And Franklin looked at her and said, "You have a republic if you can keep it." We are joined together to keep it. But to keep it, we must understand it. By the way, we need to understand the difference between a monarchy and a republic. In a monarchy, the monarch serves to keep the government. He or she is the one that keeps it together by his authority. In a republic, we keep it. We, the people, are entrusted with our government, and we keep it. On page 14, there is a quote that reads like this: "The burden of keeping it," as Franklin said, "is excruciatingly important." And here's the main reason for that. Once it goes out forever. Once the flame of liberty goes out, it is gone forever. And I don't know about you folks, but that scares me to death and calls me to understand our government and understand the great country that God gave us. I pray that in reading this book, you will come to appreciate a couple of things: the strength and fragility of our country. But more than that, I hope you come to understand the power of God that allows and empowers us to keep it. We'll see you next time.